I've seen the best single-hand performance was against Stoke at the Etihad. That's the best single-hand performance from any footballer that I've ever seen on that day.
Played with or with?
Played with.
Everything.
Everything. Then we're flying to Barcelona. He's taking us to the F1.
Oh.
First time.
That's all right.
Yeah. First time.
Good guy. What a guy,
Tuchel. Great guy. The absolute great guy.
Sit on the F1.
I'm on 96. Just get me to 100. Finally back together, Brownie.
It's about time, isn't it? You're normally sunning it in Milan. I'm normally in Manchester, but we're here in Abersock at the Warren, ready to talk more on our podcast. So let's go. Abersock, the Warren, Abersock. We're sat here waiting, enjoying. It's been good, hasn't it? A few days.
A few days, bit of entertainment. I had my birthday in them few days, innit?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How old are you going to tell everyone?
35.
35, eh?
Yeah.
You made it. And did you know a footballer can get his pension at 35?
You told me that the other day.
Officially, he can have his pension. I'm not sure you need it yet, but it's
I
nice to
still
know
think
you
I've got a
can
couple
cash
more
it
years in
there.
me, but it's good to know.
Pension time, eh? Do you feel that's it?
No, I still feel good.
So I arranged something for your birthday, didn't I?
Yeah.
We had a nice dinner all planned. We all went round on 5 or 6 boats, round to a little bay round the corner.
Yep.
Called Lambedrock.
Yep.
All of us on these boats, and then you're like hiding with your cap, thinking all the beach are looking, thinking who's coming in. You're getting mithered straight away off people, but it's nice, isn't it?
It's nice, but I always do feel that awkward moments when we pull up on them like sea legs and stuff, and we're going onto the beach, and I can just imagine what people are saying. It's
just
them.
to explain, these are the boats that actually the wheels come down, so you can drive across the beach, and when you get in the water, the wheels come up, and then you go all the way around the bays, and then you go to the next one. So as you drive, but we end up making fun of it now, where there's like 6 or 7 of us in different boats,
and they're very loud. The engine's very loud. People are sat there having a nice time on the beach, and I just feel that like these 5 boats, and the riffraff comes. And we pull up on the beach.
There was like 35 of us.
No, but we do keep them out the way. We always look out for like the people, and we just don't just shove them right at the door and walk in. We do try and make sure, but they are a bit of an eyesore, and people stop and stare, and then all of a sudden I jump off the boat. And it's just, oh, here he is. And I just think, oh my good gosh. But it was my birthday.
Yeah, but it was your birthday. You were allowed to do it. But it's nice, it was all made easy for you. You didn't have to get your feet wet when the tide had come in. You said we put them out the way. So we had to put them out the way. Then the tide come in.
Yeah.
And then you didn't see us all.
It's a lot. I've said this to you before. It's a lot of messing about.
We were there that long.
It's a lot of messing about, When's the tide coming? When's the tide going out? You're looking at all on your phones. It's on maps and stuff, on signs.
It's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've got you. You've got a boat, so I just jump on your boat.
Yeah, well, that's quite easy. Yeah. You shared it with a guy called Rick Shell, and it was his birthday as well, so there's loads of it, especially when it's happy birthday to Rick. But, presents. Did you like your present?
I did. I got a beer cooler.
Well, it's not it's beer. It's beer if you want to put it.
I'm not going to use it for anything. It's a cooler.
To the beach,
and it's a lovely cooler.
Yeah. In, or you can put your soft drinks in for all the children.
I bet that never has any sandwiches. It might get some soft drinks for the children in there, but you've all got one full of beer and no sandwiches.
It's just nice. It's just whiz round and go and get wet and entertain. Food was good.
No, but it was nice. We've got a little group going now, haven't we?
Yeah. It's nice that you can do that, though, because you come here, and it is pretty much that you're not... In certain places, you do get, like, mobbed, don't you? And he is quite... You still get a lot of...
No, I still get a little bit, but you're going to get that anywhere because it's just the Premier League, isn't it?
I think it's nice for you to come here and not be able to...
No, but here you can let my hair down. I can actually let my hair down. We go and do the paddle in the morning. Not too much hair, but that's why I've got a cap on.
Right, we've actually going to start the episode... although the episode's already running, with an email from Mark, a.k.a. Smithy. He says, all right, lads, love the podcast. I work in Basra in Iraq for an Italian company.
Well,
at 47 years old and more than 10 years retired from the game, I've pulled on my boots again, played a few games of six-a-side, having not worked with Italians for a few years. My Italiano was a little bit rusty-o. I mean, I don't know why did you have to put O onto everything, do you?
That's it, yeah.
So instead of turning to Duolingo, I chose to tune into this podcast at my desk. I was delighted, as ever, to do so. It's about you and talking Italian. That's what I think he likes about it, doesn't he? He says, Kyle's grasp of the Italian language, refreshing my knowledge beyond the pub lingo, helped me endlessly last night as we destroyed the opposition in 35 degrees heat. I can only put the victory down to one thing. Kyle Walker's Italian lessons.
Amazing.
Can you believe that?
Amazing.
I was chucking out destras and sinastras like confetti forces for each tackle, and when my Scottish mate yelled "man on," I could quickly correct him by shouting
Womo.
"Womo." Good idea. I've since recommended the podcast to him to expand his Italian. Keep up the good work, lads. Mark Smithy. What do you think?
No, it's nice.
You're helping people.
It is
You're
nice.
Like the trend setting out with your Italian. Did you continue the lessons?
I think I'm going to. No, I didn't continue them towards the end of the season.
Why?
There was a lot of games. We lost the final, and I kind of wasn't in the mood for the Italian lessons. You have to go. It's an hour, but I think you can't just go and just sit there and not interact with the woman that's on FaceTime. You've got to want to do it. So after the final, I kind of just thought, you know what, I'm done with this now. But I've still kept in touch. She messaged me saying happy birthday, actually, Roberta. So thank you ever so much for.
Nice, right?
Yeah, you love the messages, and that's thanks to everyone as well. But I think I'm going to.
Any other special messages for your birthday that anyone sent you? Did you get any other?
The gaffer, Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel.
Yeah, he messaged me.
Tuchel sent a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Really
It's under
nice,
pressure
isn't
now because he's going to have to send them to a few more. They'll be like, why have you said? But it is a special birthday.
Well,
35 in football, don't you think that's... I think it's like a milestone
I think
that you always
when
set off, right?
when we was younger, we always looked at that as 35. Get to 35 and you can then retire.
It's 40 now.
Now it's a little
40 is the
bit
new
older, isn't
35,
it? Yeah,
I think, don't
yeah. But it's not just my birthday. It's John Stone's.
Yeah.
And Phil Foden's.
All the same day?
All the
Is
same
that
day.
defo?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, John Stones.
Happy birthday to John and Phil. Yeah.
Any phrases? Can you... you're going to test your Italian, right? You
Okay.
have to say our ball. So would they really say that, wouldn't they? Our ball.
Our ball, no.
See, it's a strange one, isn't it? Handball.
Womo.
So handball
No.
is just... Womo.
No. Manu.
Manu.
Yeah.
Near post. Would you have to like mark that near post zone?
Fronto pala.
Was it really?
Yeah, fronto pala.
Shut up.
Yeah. Second pala, back stick.
Second part,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. How is it back stick or back post? So
No,
it's the same. You're just saying post,
yeah,
aren't you?
back post.
Oh, this is a good
Get
one.
in
And
the
I don't
mixer.
think this has ever been put ever,
No.
ever. Go
In
in the mixer. Stick it on the top. Stick it on the striker.
Get it in the mixer. Italian. Don't have a clue. I don't think they even.
Would you say get it up to the striker? How could you do that? Would they ever say let's
Lungo.
go long?
Lungo.
Long.
Yeah,
long.
yeah, long. Just
And
long.
would they use that?
Yeah,
Because if you have to do it
Yeah,
later on in
yeah.
games, you go long.
yeah, long.
Stay.
Lungo. Yeah. That's not bad,
And
is it?
chucking it long. What about the long throw? What about let me do the throw-ins? Because you're good at throw-ins.
Scusa.
Scusa.
Give me the ball, I can launch it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like a Steve McLaren
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
So speak English, but try to
Yeah,
sound
and I'd do it
Italian.
with a little bit of a twing of Italian.
Sheffield.
Yeah. No, Italian.
Sheffield accent.
With the hand.
So.
Scusa.
What's the address, Carl? How can people get in touch? Send emails, ask questions.
Well, you can always send your emails and your voice notes, as always, with my little line that I say,
Hey, you like
to
it,
Kyle
don't you?
Walker at bbc.co.uk.
Can I see your inbox to see all the ones that you've got?
Oh, there's millions.
Have you
There's
got them all, yeah?
Loads.
They're all in there.
But
so it's a
with-
registered email to you, that isn't it? Just for
Yeah, I've got. I can flick back
Yeah,
and
just
forwards
cross
from
it,
my
yeah.
personal email plus the BBC,
it's
BBC
nice,
one.
isn't it?
So it's
nice,
good.
isn't it? So we say goodbye, Milan. You know, how did you? What was it? One of those? You wish everybody all the best.
No,
say
you
thanks
you,
very
you do
much,
because
enjoy the summer. And...
it's strange. It's strange. It's quite sad actually. You know, when you ever gone. I've been on 2 loans prior to this one, and that was QPR and Aston Villa, and it's probably the best connection of lads that I've had both at QPR and Aston Villa, where I don't know. It's different being on loan than being signed to somewhere, I feel.
And do you think it's different as well when you're a younger player than an older
Correct,
player? Because
correct.
you might go, you're happy with more of your time on
Yeah,
your own to
yeah,
do things. Where
yeah.
before, if you're a younger player, you're like, can we go and do this, and this?
100%. And I just think, you know, I went and I bought there was a couple of girls in the kitchen when we were watching the pots. One did the serving, bought them a bunch of flowers each, and then I got all the kitchen stuff, you know, a bottle of wine, just to say thank you because...
Bloody heart of gold, this lad, isn't he?
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it for anything, but I just thought that these people actually cook my food to take it home because...
Oh, because they're doing extra.
Yeah, they was
all
actually
sorts
doing
to look
extra for
after
me.
you, weren't they?
So I actually just thought, you know what, you've gone out of your way every night to make sure that I've got some meal to go in, and they already put like some fruit in, just extras in for me. And I just thought, you know what, they've always been nice, and I'm going to give them just a little present to say thank you. But every single one of them, from the coaching staff to the physios to the fitness guys, one thing about Italians, they like to get off. This is one thing, they like to get off when they can get off. So 2:30, like, everyone's out the door. But once they're working on you, everything is such to detail. It's incredible.
Intense.
Intense.
Because they want to do the best.
Yeah, even like the physios, how they don't just get on and start rubbing. You know, it's actually, all right, where hurts? Why does that hurt? Can I line you back up? This, that and the other. So every one of them there was, you know, helped me out more than anything. Even some of them, we just had chats after, because I stayed round the training ground for a couple of hours after sometimes, and we'd just be sat in the change room just having a chat. I had nothing to get back to, so, you know, and just little things like that go a long way for me.
That's good,
you know,
and another medal.
What
Medal.
Which one?
Well, didn't you get a runners-up medal?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I got it.
So do you know what? Like, see how you just go like this, right? Because you've won loads of things.
Yeah.
But isn't that still? Do you know? To me, that's still a big achievement. I watch everyone and they go, right, well, they lose a final and they get the medal goes around their neck and they go, oh, I've got to take this off because it's like, we're not condoning it. But when you're older, you've still got a medal, haven't you? That you actually did in Milan. Yes, you didn't win it. But I still think that's something you know,
I will always look
important,
back at it and say that obviously was a period when I played in Italy. I don't think many English players can actually say that they've gone abroad and played for Italy and played in a Coppa Italia. So I've gone and done that.
A medal.
And I've got a silver medal. Would I have wanted it to be gold? For a number of reasons. 1,000,000%, because like I said before about the season, it's not been great. I've seen the amount of effort that the lads put in daily, and sometimes it just doesn't click on the field, or you don't get the results that you want to get, and that's football. That is football. But for it to finish with a gold medal in the Coppa Italia would have been fantastic. But you know, things happen in football, and you just have to move on. But let's go back to a gold medal. I know you've got one. Scott McTominay.
How's he? Scotty McTominay. Have you seen his celebrations? There's a picture, right? There's a picture in here that I'm going to show you. Look at that. What's he doing there? He's like on the top of a team bus with a headscarf on, just loving life, isn't he? Amazing.
I've heard he's like the man there.
He is the boss man, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's running the show.
But I think fair play to him. I honestly do. I'm actually really happy for him, because we know him
we knew the deal as well, didn't we? Because we know people who look after him, so we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We were discussing it, thinking, oh, how's that going to go? That's a brave move. I thought it was brave. You know, 'cause you're wondering how was he going to get on? It was a strange.
Napoli. Not Napoli's a bad place or anything, but they're very intense.
Yeah.
The fans are very intense.
And to go and win the league and be
the best player,
and he's treated like royalty. I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it, how well he's done.
I'm so happy for him. And I think even to go and leave Manchester United when you've been at Manchester United for so long, to make that jump, was he getting enough game time? Could he see that the direction...
But let's be fair, this was Scott McTominay, who everyone was pretty much said, he's just steady away, does what it was in the tin, he works hard, gets box to box, he's got a couple of goals for Man United, but he was always, everyone who went in was like, well, Scott's just behind, and then he'll get some games, and then, right, we have to change it, we have to put someone else in, and then...
That picture there is exactly what football can do when you play with confidence. When you play with confidence, you can do anything.
So he's like celebrating, to explain, he's celebrating on the top of a team buses, and he almost like with a cigarette in his mouth, like a cigar, almost going, there you go, look at me. I think everyone will be able to see it or find it. But the point is, the turnaround is just...
You would never, if I showed you that picture 1 year ago and said, who's that? You would never go Scott McTominay. You would never go Scott McTominay. But for what he's done, congratulations both to, you know, Scott and his family and everyone associated with him. I'm very happy for you.
Yes, people, we are dropping in to tell you all about our podcast, You About. I'm Roman Kemp.
And I'm Tom Grennan, and each week we have unfiltered conversations we usually save for the group chat.
Join us for our weekly catch-up, otherwise known as a podcast on BBC Sounds.
McTominay goes to Napoli.
Yep.
Kevin de Bruyne.
I like how you've teed that up. I like how you've teed that
with
up.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Would that fit?
Would Kevin not fit?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I don't know.
You've
I don't know.
been playing there.
I've played
You've
with
played
him.
over there. You've played with Kevin and over there. You know his personality. You talk about it's intense. It's not.
The personality, the culture. He could fit in. He could fit in. Can he fit in with, the lads? The facilities not being as top, maybe the travel not being as top, maybe, things
So
not
they're going to
run.
have to up the game. If you're
I don't-
saying is
yeah.
it needs to be spot on because his demands are the best. That's what you're saying.
I think his demands are high because he wants the best for the team.
For everybody, not necessarily
Not for him. I think it's more for the team. I think Kevin has worked so long at Manchester City, doing what he's doing at Manchester City, just because of him not being selfish.
Well, that's what he says, doesn't he? Straight away, he goes, "I love assisting."
Yeah, and I
rather
think
than
that
actually
sums him up as a person. Where these other superstars, I think Kevin gets probably overlooked a little bit when you talk. So I'm talking Ronaldo and Messi, but that probably next tier down. Kevin, for me, is always got to be in it. Your Neymars, your Mbappes.
He's in that bracket.
He's in that bracket. He's got to be. What has he not won? What can he not do? The amount of assists that he delivers season in, season out, the goals, the important goals, the moments where you think, okay, we're losing like the Villa. If he don't make that run and snatch the ball against Douglas Luiz, we don't win the league. He's set that ball up, and then little moments like that. Now, has he scored a goal that's all of a sudden made City champions? No. That's where you look at Aguero, Gundo, these sorts of players. Vinny, but...
Have you got one moment with Kevin where you go, that was the best? Do you know, like...
I've seen the best single-hand performance was against Stoke at the Etihad. That's the best single-hand performance from any footballer that I've ever seen on that day.
Played with or witnessed?
Played with.
Everything.
Everything. Probably not watched because I think
Yeah.
Messi's done something outrageous in certain moments, but
Right at the top.
played
top
with,
of the
right
game.
behind.
Did
and
you just
looked.
start laughing? Do you know, like,
No,
you're
it's
like,
just-
what's this guy doing?
I think
That's
it
what
was
I've been
anything
like,
that he
mate.
did or he tried, it came off, and it was just one of them days. It was really just one of them days. But I think the moment that really got me was the Champions League game against Real Madrid when he scored there, because I know he had a tough period with, I think it was his wife's grandma or granddad, the day before or something passed away, and if you know Kevin and know his personality, you're kind of thinking he can swing one way or
You
swing
know
the
when
other.
he's got-
yeah,
he
yeah,
takes
like
his family,
something,
yeah.
something's happened, and we needed him. And for him to step out on the field and score, said everything to me about that. That was probably the best or most meaningful game that I can remember. Yeah, I think not just because of what it meant to him, but what he'd been through the night before and come through to then go and play in that game. So yeah, I'd probably say single-handedly Stoke game, but Kevin's goal against Real Madrid.
I think for me, when I watch Kevin, I've been in commentary for so long, and it would come in a bit biased because I loved what he brought, because that's the type of player I want to see. Box to box, would try something.
Yeah.
So he's not the best at like tackling or tracking back, but he'll certainly work for the team. As you say, unselfish. But like how he'd take the ball as he'd let it run past him. Like I've not seen anyone as he drifts into space. And the other thing, how he tries those balls in between people's legs, or he can see a pass that he threads it, and the way he can deliver right foot, left foot in positions. Because he did it, like at the City at times, was he the one who was allowed to do it? Because like you look at like Pep's is right, with the structures there, we have to come back in, we build, we go round. But like Kevin, he just seemed to go, I'm going to take the risk. And like others maybe not have the ability or the
I don't
confidence to do it.
think he was saying that he was allowed to do it because he was Kevin. But if you took that away from his game, you're taking a lot away from his game. Like you said, with the pressing, the tackling, you wouldn't say Kevin's renowned for that. But what he brung when he let that ball run, he had the awareness that no one was around him. If he kept on doing it, he kept on running into people, the manager would probably pull him.
But some days that would happen.
Of
but
course,
you can't then
of course. But then that one
day.
day, that one time in that game where he let it run through, you know that something was coming on the end of it. But you probably appreciate that is something where people would say, well, what about his passing, or what about his vision, or what about his brain intelligence? But for you as a centre midfielder, when you know that that's the busiest place on the pitch.
Yeah, and that's what impresses me most, how he actually can let it run past him.
Yeah.
Because you go to the thing, you're scanning, you're looking, and the ball's getting zipped at that level into you, but he still has to judge the pace, judge what's around. If there's anyone else who'd let that go past him, it's like it's gone, and you've not touched it straight away, and you've lost it to the centre-back. But he just seemed to have this little art of maybe turning and just getting away.
No, but I find that quite interesting, because that's something that a lot of people, and probably I wouldn't say, first and foremost, okay, I like that about Kevin, where you've picked that up as a midfielder, knowing that he's got that space around him, where you say the right weight of the ball, how it's coming at you, and what he's going to do after it. Because once that ball's gone past you, you don't know the movements from you, me receiving a ball from you.
Yeah.
Everything behind you within that second's changed again. So then all of a sudden he has to recalculate what he's then going to do with the ball. But he was unbelievable. Left, right foot.
What do you think of his send-off? It was good, wasn't it?
It was good. It was good.
I was so pleased he got that. You know, and it went well, because you organise it and you don't know how it's all going to go.
I'm going to talk about his miss.
His miss was unreal on it, right underneath the bar.
Anyone?
What would you say to him? Would you give him it straight away?
I'd give him some banter. Yeah, 100%.
Is there anyone who he would not have wanted to see in that dressing room after he missed that? That was there.
Me or Vinny?
You or Vinny would have definitely got to straight away. You'd have got, and he knew it. He just looked away. Come on. Anyone else would have? Did you see anyone else? Would Jackie give him it a little bit, maybe, or not?
Jackie would give him a little bit, but I just think. No, Jack. You see, Jack was kind of
he
like.
Put an arm around him, saying, "Look."
Yeah, Jack was the only person that you thought with Jack is going to give him a bit of stickier, but he was just like in awe of Kev. He never really pushed it too far with
Kevin.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
He'd have a go and keep going and keep going and keep going.
So he sees him as like the goat, then, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, so
he says
even Jack actually just goes, don't ever say anything bad about
no.
Kevin, because he's.
But I did send him a lovely, because I seen a lot of people, messaging on Instagram and stuff like that, saying that I didn't give him a send off, but I sent him a really nice voice note, and he sent me one back, which I saved now.
Yeah.
I've saved, and I thought, you know what, that's something that I'm going to keep. Because you know what I'm like with my messages. Gets too much and start deleting loads.
Just delete all your phone.
It's deleting all my phone. So that one I've saved, and he said some really nice words in it. So
because I watched a lot of players who've been in the journey and give him that send off. They did a big thing at the Etihad on all the screens. And then people must have thought then, why haven't you? But there was no real current player.
No,
so because you're current, that's probably why. But
I could have, but like, to me, I'm being weird now, but to me, it's more personal than 60, 70,000 people
looking at it. Yeah, you've said the stuff, and some things you could say that not everyone knows.
I've
it's a
said
personal
it because
that the journey you've been through.
He was like my best friend there.
Yeah.
He was like my best friend. He was like, from the start, you look at it, there was me, Kevin, John, and we just kind of stayed together throughout all the years of us being there. I've sat next to him on the coach, on the bus, for God knows how long. But he's so funny, like some of his habits and his ways. I sit next to him in a meeting. Every day I've sat next to him in the meeting. So we had the auditorium, so the things are like staggered backwards. And he'd rest his foot. Riyad used to sit in front of him and Raz. That his foot goes in between the two seats, but because he sat there for so long, it's like worn down.
Oh, so that was his spot?
That's his spot. No one sat in that spot.
No one can touch it now?
No, because his foot, he never had shoes on, so he'd had barefoot. Right?
Raheem Sterling is Raz, for everyone.
And he just, all of a sudden, he just put his foot there, and that's where his foot would stay for the whole meeting.
He's some guy. I'm going to miss him, honestly. I'm going to miss him in the Premier League. I wish him well. It's good that he's going to play on and carry on. And
no, I think he needed to.
He's got more to give.
Yeah, 100%.
I spoke to you 5 minutes before the England squad was announced, and you find out by message, don't you?
Correct.
Literally just before it, and you sort of gone. Well, it's about 3 or 4 minutes ago. You go, so are you in it? You went, yeah, and I went, brilliant. I thought it was great news again. Obviously, that 100 cap, the target. I bet you're looking forward to it. So what happens? You just get a text, and then you find out you're in, and then you find out all the information that's going to follow.
Yeah, so there is a group chat, as I said before, and normally Ruth will message you individually, just saying that you've made it, and then you just see people getting added into the group chat that are not being in the group chat.
And if you're
before.
not, you're pushed out, or is it a new one?
No, you stay in. You stay in. But you kind of have to mute it because you're a little bit disheartened, aren't you, when you're seeing
what
the...
do you say?
Yeah.
No, you've had that as well.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't make
it's
it.
not. I mute it, so I'll mute it, and then that's it. I don't see it.
So you will not act. You'll mute it, and then if you didn't make it, you just don't even.
No, so it's not muted now. Obviously, it's on.
Yeah, because
on
you're in.
normal,
Yeah,
so I'm in now.
going, aren't you?
But if I wasn't, I used to mute it. So I'd mute it for that period when I wasn't there. But I don't think we did it like this then. I think they started a new one. But we meet up on Sunday. It's an early start. I'm getting picked up at 6:30.
6:30. That's early, isn't it?
Yeah, 6:30 for. We've got to be at Birmingham Airport for between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Then we're flying to Barcelona. He's taking us to the F1.
Oh.
First time.
That's all right.
Yeah, first time.
Good guy. What a guy.
What a mate, great guy. The absolute great guy.
So at the F1.
I'm on 96. Just get me 200.
F1.
Keep talking
That'll be
after that.
someday, that'll be nice that for all the guys to go and have a bit of downtime, relax, go and do something straight away, and then you've got a good build up for the squad. I think.
But I've never personally been to an F1. Have you been to an F1?
Just a few.
Yeah. Jet setter.
Abu Dhabi's quite a good one where you're on the boats. It's quite nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really good.
Great experience.
Love it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You'll have everything provided. What you'll need it.
No, but I just think that for an England squad to go to the F1, it's kind of unheard of. Like, you don't really do that on international camp. But I think where the gaffer has managed a lot of big clubs, and you need that team bonding.
It's a great start, and he's got the lads right on side there.
No, he's been brilliant. I mean, even the first camp, just like the Wolf game that we played and stuff like that, it was fantastic. And I think when you're a new manager, obviously he's known a few of us obviously playing in the Premier League, playing against us. He's obviously managed Harry Kane at Bayern Munich and stuff like that. A lot of the lads at Chelsea, congratulations to Trevor. Trevor's got his first call up, which is a really good one. Ivan's back in the team.
Yeah, he's come back in,
which is good because I feel that
character. Can you tell straight?
Yeah,
or is
good
he quite
guy.
Quiet? Is he quite quiet, or has he got some straight?
He's got a few one-liners. He's got a few one-liners, but I think
he will have now.
No, but I think
now he's got a few quid. He'll probably come in.
I bet he has. He'll have even more one-liners.
Like that with a big glove suitcase. You go, look, it's all right over there, lads.
We're chucking £20 notes as well now. Yeah, but I think
cashing everyone off.
That shows you, even if you do go to Saudi, if any of the younger lads or the older lads have got that,
as long as you're doing it,
as long as you're playing well, this manager is open to bring you back.
I think that's a good statement.
Yeah, it's good. It's good because I think you look at the Italian league, the Spanish league, the German, English. It's not just about them leagues. If you're a good player, you should be able to represent your country. Obviously, Ivan's gone there for whatever reason he's gone there for, but he's still, playing football. He won the Champions League there. So congratulations to him.
Who's on pens now, Harry Kane or Tony?
I don't think you're ripping it off age, but I think he's not.
Penalty, big penalty to like a
he's not a bad person to have.
Going,
yeah, he's not a bad person to have. But
so you said you'd have Tony over Kane on pens, yeah?
I'd be very confident.
No.
No.
Can we clip that up?
We can clip it up. So no, I didn't say it. I said I'd be very confident with any one of them that steps up.
He actually said he's not ripping it off.
No.
I thought, why not? So it's a great squad to look forward to.
You look forward to it, and obviously there's familiar faces.
Had your birthday, bit of a break, and then go and join up with.
Yeah, we did a beach run, didn't we? Me and you the other day, beach run and a bit of gym.
You didn't really want to run too much, did you? You said that.
Well, it was
let's get in the gym.
Absolutely. You can swear on it because it's my podcast. Pissing it down.
It was windy.
It was pissing it down.
Outside here.
Yeah, and you've got me running on the sand.
Just had a little sweat on, mate. It was fine on the sand running. I took him on the beach for the England. Like I'm trying to get him right for England. It's important to me. That's what we're trying to do.
But it's good to see the familiar faces, obviously Pickers, H, and stuff like that. And also, it's good to see the younger players that are coming up from the under-21s and stuff like that are, breaking into the team now.
Lots of mates who've not made it though, so that'll be a different squad. But
it's good. Yeah, I get along with everyone. I really do. It's that part. It's that part of that time again of the Cow Stones, Brownie. Do you want to go with the first question?
What are we doing today? Do you know? In Kylestone.
First time football broke your heart.
Oh, wow.
You're a big part of this. You are a massive part of this.
I'll go back to like, as a youngster, that you obviously had lots of setbacks as a kid and all. As a under 9 playing and you get beat and you think that everything's going to end and what happens and you learn to do it. I think one of the ones for me, which was really, I made my debut for Manchester City, and I didn't really train with the first team. I hadn't done anything, and I didn't think I was going to be subbed. Then I went on the pitch. It was the best moment you've ever seen, and then I pulled someone's shirt and got sent off, and I'd been on about 8 minutes. So you talk about high and low of emotion of like the best, making your debut in the Premier League as a kid at 18, to wallop down in the floor thinking you will never... It was a straight red because it was a professional foul for pulling a shirt if someone was getting through on goal, and it was a poor decision. So you talk about thinking that's it, you've done wrong because your team have lost, you'll never get another chance. So that was one of the biggest ones for me early.
But do you think your emotion and everything played a part in you pulling that shirt back, or would you do it again?
I would probably pull it. That was my strength, was fighting, not giving up, doing everything you possibly can to get a result. And I just think it learned quickly how to control that. So when you have the setbacks, and that's what happens. But football.
But I got sent off on my Manchester City debut, didn't I? At the Etihad against Everton.
What did you do?
I think one was a pullback. The first yellow was a pullback.
You've obviously been watching pullbacks.
And then the second one was, when the ball was in the air, and I was with Dom Calvert-Lewin, and Dom's massive. He's tall, he can leap. Yeah. He leaps and chests it when you want to head it. And I remember going
like Freddie Canute.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder with him before, just to get him off balance. And then he went down, I think, holding his chin or something. And
you know where you went?
Yeah.
So last week, I was at Wembley.
Yeah.
I'd been there the week before.
Yeah.
Man City, FA Cup. Then it was the playoff final. I've lost for Sheffield United in the playoff final, as you know.
I'm just going back to mine. That's mine.
Yours.
That is mine.
So you can tell us about that in a second. And then Sheffield United lose to Sunderland. He's laughing behind the camera because he's a Sunderland fan. He's winding us up. But I was so sad, honestly. Again, it happened. Sheffield United, we're all there, ready to celebrate. And it just, those playoffs are cruel. That's what you talk about, being upset in football. It's a great club, Sheffield United, isn't it? And then they just haven't done it.
I mean, everyone knows how I feel about the club. And I think when I went to Cardiff to watch you was never in the game. When we and Wade Elliott scored against for Burnley against us, I actually thought, and I still feel now, that we was the better team, but we just couldn't score. But that, the other day, oh my good gosh, 75 minutes, Sunderland couldn't touch the ball. And you have to agree with me.
I see a lot of the lads and the disappointment, families and board members and kids, and it's
but I think always you think in them big games that I've learnt over the years is like when you concede at that minute of the game, you just have to accept it and say we get to the full-time whistle and we go again. We've got another half an hour.
Yeah,
you can't concede again then in the dying minutes. You have to be a little bit. You have to be a little bit smart in them situations. But you know what? They will learn from it. They'll learn from it. And hopefully next season, I hope they go automatically because playoffs we're not great at. But come again, I think...
they need to rebuild again and get them a decent squad. I've seen Chris, he was positive the next morning. He just said we have to deal with it. Obviously, he was gutted. It just feels like he's the right person to get him on track,
I mean, even for Chris as well, as we know him personally, for him to have been that manager that got Sheffield United through the playoffs, that would have meant so much to him. So much to him. But it wasn't meant to be.
Get rid of that playoff story, isn't it? That's the one as well. They've not done it.
And we have to be fair, and we have to say, you know what, fair play to Sunderland.
And as a player, is there any moment that sort of broke your heart as a player? I think I might know one of yours, but I want you to see what you think. Is there any one
There's only 2 moments in football where I've just been...
It just took everything, like it just took...
it was... But there was one moment which was Sheffield United when I played in it, because I was just like, oh my gosh, but I don't think that I really understood, because I played 5 games, just got in, I then went and moved to Tottenham, went back on loan. I didn't really understand then. I was more looking at it as a fan rather than a player. But that month of the Champions League final, losing that and then going on to the final at Wembley and losing that in the Euros, that was all in a month. I lost to Chelsea, obviously at Porto. And
that was losing, wasn't it? So you lost them, both of them. We were there, weren't we? The bad moments.
Yeah.
And what about when you got left out of Champions League? That was like a one, or not as different as more the team collective one over the month.
I had to think of the team. I couldn't think. I was devastated, but like I said to you,
were quick in reacting.
Yeah, like I said to you the other day, that the managers have a really tough one where they can only pick 11 players. So if I'm involved, not involved, on the bench, starting, you have a 5 minute where you dummy, you dummy spat out, and then all of a sudden you look around and you think, well, these are your peers, these are the lads that also work just as hard as you to actually make sure that they're in the starting 11. It's not their fault. So,
that gains you massive respect, I think, in the dressing room. You react and go to them. And
so I always say, it's not your fault. I always say, all the best, keep going, and that's how I like to look at things.
So we've ended up on a smile at a holiday destination, and then we're talking about when we cry in football. Sort of gone full circle, haven't we, in this podcast?
Yeah, but let's leave on a positive.
Yeah, leave on a positive. The bar's open.
Cheers for watching the latest episode of the Kyle Walker podcast.
You can also listen to our bonus Q&A episodes on the BBC Sounds app, where you'll find the entire series so far.
Subscribe to the pod, and please keep sending in your questions to kylewalker@bbc.co.uk.
You'll also be able to watch us soon on BBC iPlayer.
See you next time.